Kapil Kaul is now joining us on the phone line. Kapil, what do you make of this news flow?
This is regarding the Indigo one.
Right.
Is that correct? I can't hear you. Hello?
Right, regarding Indigo.
Yes, yes. So I think first, I'm really glad that the CEO has communicated to his employees very promptly and has put all the issues very clearly on the table that the strategic direction of the company remains intact. So I think the letter and the response and the speed with which the CEO has got the letter out to his employees, I would think is reassuring both to the internal stakeholders and external stakeholders, and I include the investors in it. So at this stage, frankly, I think whatever media coverage I see with respect to promoter-related issues at this stage may not be linked to the overall outcomes that the company has defined for itself. And we may, at this point of time, maybe reading more to the promoter-related issues than actually what is on ground. So at this stage, frankly, the promoter-related issues at this stage may not be linked to outcomes, may not be linked to the overall strategic direction of the company, may be a bit exaggerated at this stage. And I don't see, to be frank with you, don't see engaging with law firms very alarming at this stage. But as the developments unfold over the next few weeks, we will see. But they have been dealing with the same law firms. One promoter deals with JS, another promoter deals with CAPA. So that was prior to the IPO. So there may not be anything more alarming, and we don't see anything alarming at this stage. But however, as the news flow unfolds over the next few weeks, one would know. But overall, letter from the CEO is reassuring to both internal and external stakeholders. Promoter-related issues at this stage may not be linked to the overall outcomes and the strategic direction of the company, and we don't see engaging with law firms alarming at this stage.
Hi Kapil, good afternoon. This is Nantara Rai in New Delhi. So CAPA's view and your view is that engaging law firms, which might have associations with the promoters going back is not alarming. Of course, you always choose a lawyer you trust at a time when the situation is bad. You don't go to someone new. But having said that, Kapil, the point I wanted to raise with you was again about the CEO's letter. He talks, Ranjay Datta raises a question and says that yes, the promoter's spat is being discussed in public discourse. Sometimes you have to read what is not written. He doesn't say there is no spat. He doesn't deny the news reports. He doesn't say this is incorrect. He then just goes on to say the management has been charged by the board to carry on with the execution, to carry on with the mandate, and his business as usual is a kind of message that he's sending out, of course, assuaging fears. But Kapil, the problem then is that at the heart of the rift between the two promoters allegedly is this very issue that one promoter enjoys more executive control. One promoter has had more of a say when it comes to appointments, getting his own men at senior level positions at Indigo.
So, Nandara, first of all, I think both the promoters, and I say this on record, we have put it in all the investor notes that CAPA does, that from a $30 million investment to create about $7-8 billion company with tremendous amount of dividend benefits that the promoters have shared is exceptional. I am sure both the promoters would understand that risking anything which will potentially have an impact on the strategic outcomes of the company would be damaging to both. But however, if there is an issue about operational control, it may be better that it gets sorted out. And if there is a law firm engagement with respect to ensuring once for all, where does the control lie? That may not be a bad idea because the company is getting bigger, it has a tremendous business plan. I think settling some strategic issues may not be a bad idea at the present moment. That's why I don't see that alarming. And if it can be done intelligently, that we would expect from both the promoters, I don't see that alarming at this stage. But yes, if there is no control issue settled in the shareholder agreement, settling that may be a good idea. It's at a stage right now that in the next 10 years it has a massive business plan to implement. If there is a core challenge with respect to control, if that gets settled, I don't think that's a bad idea. It should be done amicably. That's what we would expect from both of them.
In fact, Kapil, when we broke this story 24 hours back, I only broke it, and I remember saying at the time of breaking it, do not sensationalize this. These are two businessmen that came together with an investment, 350 crores, and look what they've done. They built India's most successful airline. But having said that, the timing. We've seen a kind of a panic reaction today on the stock markets. Look what has happened to the stock price of Indigo today, of Indigo Group that owns Indigo. It has tanked. It has crash landed in trade. There is a fear that exists at the moment. I want to talk to you about that. While we're saying that the promoters are trying to iron out issues, it's too early and, it's nowhere on the cards right now as far as litigation or an exit, etc. goes. There is a panic reaction we've seen on the stock markets. It may be because, it's coming so close after Jet. It might be because, Air India disinvestment was also not that far long back when it, completely failed. So having said that, do you think this panic might be unfounded? What is your larger message? Is the aviation sector now at a larger threat? This is India's most successful airline.
Well, first of all, Jet story was waiting to happen. Everybody was aware that there was no capital in the company, and any material risk, changes in the material risk will have a very, very severe impact. So Jet was waiting to happen. But for Indigo is concerned, it's a robust story. It will grow from strength to strength from here. If there is any challenges to Indigo, is internal. And that internal challenge possibly, I'm not very sure, possibly could be to settle who is in the driver's seat. If that is settled, the direction of the company will become very robust. If that's the issue. I'm not sure what the issue is, but if it is an issue with settling as to who is in control, it may be good for the long-term future of the company. So if they're engaging it in an amicable manner without likely impact or any impact on the material guidance they have given to their employees and shareholders about growth and strategic direction. So it should be fine. But what I want to put it on record is that it's not a bad idea to settle who's in control so that the strategic direction is much more robust.
Of course. Of course, you've been saying that we need to know who's going to be in the cockpit. Kapil, thanks so much for joining us.